I
Let's
like
jump
it.
into basketball, and we're going to be talking about Josh's favorite team in the whole wide
Oh, we're
world,
starting off with that one. Ride into it,
the
baby.
Charlotte Hornets.
Heck yeah.
And so I'm just going to lay it out, and then I want you to go in.
Okay.
So there's been rumors, there's been reports out there that the Hornets are interested in King center Domantas Sabonis. And I know Josh has a lot of thoughts about this, so I'm going to leave the floor to you.
Yeah. While we're talking about this, I'm also gonna pull up the Hornets cap space because if anyone is unfamiliar, Sabonis makes a crap ton of money right now.
Yeah, I have him
So
down for 45.4 this
does he
season
still
and
have two? He still has two,
48.6
right?
next season.
Yeah, 2 years.
2 years left on the deal.
He doesn't have any player or team option, right? Or is the next following year a player or team option?
I'm not sure. You'd have to
Okay.
look up that part.
We'll just go by we'll just go by the
But I know there's two
two,
years.
right? Um well, let me double check real quick. But yeah, dude, so many reports coming out yesterday about this. Um there was actually rumors during the season that there was a chance for this, so I'm not really like too shocked about it. Oh, they're guaranteed. There's no player team option. So this is gonna be money earned no matter what. Um so checking this out real quick. Um because we're going into the 26-27 season. The main talks right now, and I have two reports on hand. The Charlotte Hornets and the Kings have been having recent talks about Sabonis. One reporter said while a deal is not imminent and appears unlikely before the draft, sources say the Hornets have interest in the star. The problem now, it seems, that the Kings have been hoping to land one of Charlotte's two first round picks in the
Yep.
upcoming draft here, the 14th and 18th pick in the deal, and the Hornets have signaled a desire to retain these picks and discuss a Sabonis trade later in the summer. Um, if you want to know the main framework for the trade as well, rumors are speculating the trade is surrounding Miles Bridges, Josh Green, and at least one first round pick for Sabonis. Um, yeah, that's the main talks there. Um,
So the only holdup is getting the 14th or 18th pick. So it would
yes,
probably be done today if the Hornets said, "Okay, Kings take the 18th pick." Well, not today, but obviously once the season's done.
correct. And I totally understand it because it makes sense for the Hornets not want to get rid of the 14th and 18th pick, because if you know, this is one of the most loaded drafts we've had in a while now. It's a very deep draft. Um, People are projecting that even past the 10th pick, you can get really valuable players, maybe even starters or bench players, even in the middle of the draft. So us even having a 14th and an 18th pick, um, I think Jeff Peterson, our president of basketball's operations, is looking at it like these two picks. And if we draft right, which the Hornets have draft majority of the time very well ever since the new ownership has been in, it makes sense that they would want to take a hit on those two picks and see who they can get. Because one of the main issues that the Hornets have is depth, and that really showcased going into the playoffs. The depth doesn't really sound too bad, but once you get into the playoffs, it really showed the holes to me. Like LaMelo and Miles played really well. Brandon Miller and Khan was really bad, but I mean, he's 20 years old and a rookie. I'm not going to be too much on him. Brandon Miller, I mean, they're all starters, and then you have Musa at center. Like those are our main starters, but then the guys that are filling in, you have Josh Green, which Josh Green had a better season this year, but he's just a normal 3 and D guy, can't really create a shot, to be honest with you. Um,
Mhm.
Grant Williams, he's also not a shot creator, kind of can hit a 3 here and there. Plays a little bit of defense, but he's kinda slow, on the perimeter. He's a little bit better once you get him into the interior, but otherwise, he's kind of a cone on the perimeter if he versus someone that's quicker than him. Um, Trey Mann did not do good at all this season, so he's cooked. Pat Connaughton is just on this team as a veteran presence. Liam McNeely could be something, but he's still a project. And then Sion James and Ryan Kalkbrenner, like those are our two like really big bench pieces that we've had and starters when people have like injuries, like if Brandon is out or Khan hasn't been out, but like Sion will come into the lineup, or if Moose is out, Ryan Kalkbrenner will come in and play. So like our really big pieces, if you look at it, it's really about maybe 7 to 8 players. I mean, Kobe White is there now, which is our really big bench pieces. So going into the playoffs, it was really the main 5, and then you have Sion James, Ryan Kalkbrenner, and Kobe White. Those 3 guys are playable in the playoffs a little bit, but here's the thing, Sion James still can't create a shot properly. Ryan Kalkbrenner, he's been bulking up this offseason, which is great, but during that stretch, he's getting bodied and he's 7'2", and dude's getting bodied by every big man he versus. And then Kobe White, Kobe White, he, takes and gives. Like he can create a shot for you. That's kind of why we got Kobe White, is because he's another good guard option that we have when if we need to take LaMelo off the floor, or Con or Brandon. Like this is a guy who we can put the ball in his hands and he can create a shot. But like he's really the only one who can come off the bench and do that. So, depending on the way that we run the lineups, it's really not as valuable as you would hope. Um, so I'm really not too shocked in the deal here that the Hornets are trying to trade Miles, which Miles makes sense. He's usually the one that gets put in the trade talks the most because out of all the guys that we have, Miles is pretty much peaked at this point. He's a veteran of the team. He's 28 years old. He's about to be 29. You pretty much have everything that you need to know about Miles. Like Miles will give you, 18 to 20 points every year. He's a great rebounder. He can play defense here and there. He's just a very, decent player to have. Um, Josh Green also makes sense. In these contracts, it makes so much sense because Miles is gonna be making 22 about 23 million, I'll just round up, 23 million, um, this next season, which it is his last year, by the way. Josh Green is making 15, so 23, 15. Oh, look, that's $48 million, for those 2 players combined, and they're both on one-year deals now. Like, this is the last year that they're contractually with the Hornets. Um, and the Hornets are obviously looking to get the team better moving forward, especially after this season. Like they're trying to get out of the play-in. And you look at Sabonis, he's making 45 million. If you're trading those 2 players, you're pretty much adding a player who's better than Miles and Josh Green, who definitely brings more value to your team than not. I know his defense isn't the best, but at the end of the day, he's better offensively as a playmaker. He's another guy who you can put the ball in his hands and he can make plays. I rather Sabonis have the ball than Miles at the end of the day. Like I know Miles looked good in the 2 games he played in the play-in, but that's not even the whole showcase of what happened during the whole season. Me and my Hornets friends, we would always talk about please Charles Lee, give LaMelo, Brandon, or Khan the ball. If I see Miles take a game-winning shot ever again, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And there was a lot of times where Miles had the final shot, or he would have the ball to make the final play instead of LaMelo or Brandon or Khan. And it's like I get he's the vet next to Connington. Like he's the second oldest guy. I get it. He has the most you know years of playing in the NBA. So like you kind of hope he would know how to win the game, right? But for Miles, it's not like a win issue for him. It's just more of he can't really do it. Like he can't play make as good as LaMelo. And I would say he can't even play make as good as Brandon. Like Brandon's becoming better of a playmaker. Khan is already a better playmaker than Miles easily. I might even go as far as saying Khan is already a better playmaker than Brandon from the flashes I was getting from this past season. And hopefully that continues. But like we've talked about this many times on the pod and episodes. You're not going to win in this league if you don't have guys that can't shot create and play make. LaMelo can't be the only shot creator and playmaker on the floor. That's why the Hornets can't make it out because LaMelo has always been the only shot creator and playmaker. He has everything on his plate. But once you start adding guys like Brandon who you can develop and hopefully his playmaking and his shot creation can get better as time goes on. Khan is definitely going to be a better playmaker and shot creator as time goes on. Um, those are two guys you can hold on to, and then Sabonis, he's not a really good shot creator in any means, but he makes really good reads, really good plays. Like he's a playmaker at heart. So adding another guy that's a good playmaker onto this team, I'm not mad at all. The only thing that would question me is definitely the defense, which is what we were talking about earlier, Zach, the other day about it, which
Yeah.
is brutal. You're like, if the Hornets versus another team, it's going to be like 148 to 146. Like there's going to be no
Yeah.
defense, you know,
It's going to be the
um,
All-Star game.
which is true. But here's the thing, Zach. I've thought about it more, and I feel like I see Jeff Peterson's vision here. And if I know him correctly, if we make this trade here, what is the starting lineup in your mind?
To me, it would be LaMelo, Khan, Miller, Diabate, Sabonis.
Right. Exactly, because you're getting rid of Miles, right? So that creates
Yeah.
a hole at the power forward. So whoever they're gonna mix and match, Sabonis and Musa are probably gonna play together. If not, there might be times where Kalkbrenner's playing with Sabonis or and vice versa. But actually, they probably wouldn't put Kalk with Diabate unless Musa started taking more threes, but Sabonis can take threes, right?
Hmm.
That's another thing.
He
A
shot pretty
really
well, I think, from three.
mhm,
The
a
past
real
couple of years.
yeah, that's another thing is the Hornets actually have been wanting to have a center that shoots three-pointers, and this would actually fix it right here. Um, and Sabonis is probably a better shooter than Bridges, honestly, from 3 too. But I feel like that's really good idea. Like Sabonis is probably more of a center, but I think it's makes sense if there's a scenario where you put him and Musa on the court together. No matter who's playing power forward or center, Musa can hide the deficiencies of Sabonis. I mean, I don't know if anyone's been watching him this past season. I know I have been. Musa is insane on defense. He is a workhorse. For him being 6'10", he plays bigger than 6'10". Um, so there's no doubt in my mind that he'd be able to hide Sabonis's, deficiencies. Um, I think the defense is going to be more prevalent on if we make this move, how much better is LaMelo, which there have been moments where LaMelo was playing actually really decent defense last season. I think there was one game, I don't know if it was against Boston, but I think even you mentioned it, like LaMelo looked way better on defense than he has previously. Um,
Yeah.
and Brandon Miller and Khan, Like Brandon Miller can play defense when he wants. Khan, dude, Khan plays at 200% every play. Like
He tries.
exactly. So like even though he might get beat sometimes, like I can't get mad at the dude. Like he tries on both sides of the floor. Like I'd rather him try than not, you know.
Yeah.
Um I will say though, Khan will probably get better as a defender though. Even though he's not as like super quick or as athletic as other guys. I think Khan will be more of like more but I'm trying to think of the word, like more of like a mindful defender more than like more physicality, get in your face defender. Like Khan to me is really big IQ. Um, so I think in that aspect that'll be nice for him. Unlike Brandon, like Brandon can get in your face and he can use his athleticism to guard you easily, right? Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, after I had time to think about it, I'm really not too mad about it because I do think there's a scenario where it didn't work for the Kings because they didn't have anyone to pair with Sabonis. You know, they had Keegan Murray at power forward with him, and neither of them can play defense. So, of course, you're going to get scored on multiple times. But if you have Musa next to him, then that to me fixes the issue there. If you're worried about, teams abusing the paint, because I mean, Moose is just gonna body whoever comes to the paint, so
So I looked up his 3-point percentage, and this is taking away last year because he only played 19 games. But the previous 3 years when he was actually healthy, 37.3% from the three, 37.9%, and then 41.7%.
mhm. Yep.
So, and that's what Charles Lee likes to do. He likes the three ball. And so he comes from the Missoula tree, and that's what they do. So he fits in perfectly with
Yeah.
that Hornets team. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I kind of go back and forth because I do see the vision a little bit too. And we talk about, he's not a good rim protector. I mean, that we all know that, but his rebounding is very good.
Yep. I didn't
His
even talk about
playmaking
that. Mhm.
is very good. His 3-point shot is very good. So at least there's things where he's very good, multiple things he's really good at to
Zach.
cover for his one weakness.
Zach,
Now,
I
you
gotta
know,
say,
mhm,
Musa Musa and Sabonis rebounding would feed families. Oh my gosh. We already have one of the best rebounding teams in the league. If we add Sabonis to it, oh my gosh, I would not be surprised if we're the best rebounding team in the NBA. I would not be shocked at all.
it would be really good.
Yeah.
So I would have a couple concerns. Obviously, once playoff time starts and you have Sabonis out there for
Yeah.
a lot of minutes,
Yeah.
a majority of minutes, that's going to
Mhm.
be hard to hide in a way.
That is the concern though.
Especially when you don't have multiple elite defenders on the court at one time.
Yep.
And another thing I would be a little concerned about is basically the front court depth. Um, like you mentioned, Kalkbrenner, but once the playoffs come, there's going to have to be someone different that you have to bring into the mix. And there's, even if this trade goes through, like you'll still have at least one of your picks, if not both of them, which maybe you would address the front court or
The Hornets are possibly gonna be drafting another big man here in the draft. So even if Kalkbrenner doesn't pan out, we're there's definitely rumors that we're looking to draft another big man, just in case, like, even if Kalkbrenner gets bulked up or whatever, um, if he's still not playing well defensively as a big man, to help with the deficiencies of Sabonis's defense and Musa being shorter, we're still gonna need moments where we need a actual definitive rim protector.
dude, imagine Mara falls to 14.
Dude,
That would be
there's been a lot of
insane.
rumors Hornets have their eyes on him, and there have been moments where people are thinking that they should trade up and get him.
I wouldn't mind if you package those picks to trade up for him. That's an
I
elite
wouldn't be
rim protector,
surprised.
dude.
Yep.
That
There's a world. There is definitely a world. He's already been in the Hornets training camp, so there's definitely eyes on him for sure. I'm assuming as we get to the draft, I think the Hornets want him, dude. I really do. I would not be surprised if they made a trade during the draft,
yeah.
just to see if he might fall to them, because there's no point in you drafting up if no one's gonna take him. So we'll see though.
If you were able to land him and do this Sabonis trade, I would think much more highly of it.
Yeah.
Which even if you didn't pick Mara, I would still, I wouldn't like say holy cow, what a steal, but I wouldn't be like this was a bad trade.
But that's
I
because
think doing
Kalkbrenner is
this,
still like you don't really know if Kalkbrenner can put it all together. I mean, that's kind of my thought process, because there were moments where he's pretty slow-footed, like,
yeah.
which makes sense. He's 7'2", but that's part of the reason why I was kind there's a piece of me where I'm kind of iffy.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, I don't know if you want to bet on him being your first man, off the bench if you're wanting to make a playoff run. He's
Ugh.
he was only a
Yeah.
rookie, obviously. Will probably improve, but it would be nice if you added one more guy to make you a little bit more comfortable.
Well, obviously the Hornets were high on him at the start though, because Kalkbrenner was getting starting minutes
Yeah,
day
he was,
one.
dude.
Mhm. Yep. I mean, Sion
The,
J I mean, still, like, shout out to Sion and Ryan Kalkbrenner, like, for them to come in and play the starter minutes that they're playing since day one, like, and for them to produce the way that they did is really, like, I think really highly of that. Like, they produce pretty well for what situation they were put in. Um, so I do appreciate that, but at the end of the day, like, I'm with you. Facts are facts at the end of the day. And the fact is, Sion James can't create a shot, and Ryan Kalkbrenner is too slow to keep up with your better big men,
your Neemias Quedas of the
as
world.
in like a Bam, because Bam's gonna cook him if we have to verse the Heat again, for example,
Oh no,
or
to
the
be cooked.
Magic, because like we literally could not play Kalkbrenner against the Magic. Like Paulo would have absolutely cooked that man every time he drove to the paint.
Yeah, I'm just curious the certain, strategies the Hornets can go because obviously, like, once 2026 came around, you guys were basically the best offense in basketball. And so it's like you're like number one, and you're basically adding more offense to your number one offense, which is a good thing. But I'm
Yeah.
curious if like obviously, like a Rudy Gobert, that would probably be your favorite thing to ever happen to you.
But my
Someone
main
like
thing
that.
is I'm looking at it as like players and like player to player. I'm like, yeah, that you're worried about the defense, but let's be real, like we're getting rid of Miles Bridges and Josh Green, you know? Like, is the defense really gonna be that drastically different going from Miles and Josh Green to Sabonis? Like, obviously,
No,
the offense is gonna be tremendously better, because Sabonis is better at any area that Miles is, except dunking, obviously. Like, Bridges is a better dunker, but, I mean, that doesn't win you games, you know? Um,
that's still something you'd want to improve on, though.
yeah.
And those are like your only, you know, real assets that you would want to trade as in players.
I think if
Is Grant
Brandon
on an expiring?
he has 1 more year left. We have a lot of
Okay,
expirings,
well,
by the way. Context, guys. Sabonis, he has 2 years left. We're not locking ourselves into Sabonis like the Kings did. So,
Yeah.
like, even if the Sabonis project doesn't work, like, there's 2 years left on his deal. Like, we're not locked into this. And that's what I love about Jeff Peterson, man. He literally told us he'll make the trades that are needed for us to improve, but the caps he's never going to put the cap room into a horrible deficit. Like he pretty much said he'll never make a bad deal like the Sabonis deal, like where you sign him for 4 years, type of
Hmm.
thing. Jeff Peterson's whole motion is I want to trade for star players on deals that make sense for the team and also the money side of things. And doing this trade, it's really we're already going to spend the money, Like I said, Miles and Josh Green, they make about the same money combined as Sabonis. So even just in a budget standpoint, we're not paying more money for Sabonis anyways. We actually clear $3 million in the cap room when we trade them, if we do. And then we just have them on the books again for next year, which next year, fun fact, there's only 3 people guaranteed on the Hornets next season, Zach. Do you know who those
Hmm.
3 are that are on the books?
Con.
Nope. Well, he's on a team option, which will probably I'll throw him in. Yeah, he's on a team option, but
Diabate.
nope.
I thought didn't he sign like a extension?
Yeah, he's in it right now. It's the 2 million. We're paying him
Oh,
2 million.
Mello,
Yep.
Brandon.
Nope.
Dude, who is it?
Sion
Brandon.
and Ryan Kalkbrenner because they just got drafted with Khan.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So the only people we will have on the books that we know of so far is going to be Khan, Sion, and Kalkbrenner and Lamelo. That's literally it.
Can you play hypothetical GM Josh for a second?
Mm-hmm.
So, if the Kings basically came up to you and said, the absolute only way this deal goes through is if you add pick 18. If not, we're not doing it, not even after summer. Are you going to take it or not?
Mm.
Obviously, in a
But
perfect
see, I
world,
don't know what
after
the other
summer.
deals are because maybe the Hornets are in other trade discussions.
Well, that's the thing. So you wouldn't know. So let's just say
Right.
you're the GM and you'll just move on if that's not the case, if you don't want to do it.
I I would still say I would do it for the 18th pick. Um, but that's just because I know for a fact the reason the Hornets are confident that they can still hold on to both picks and still get Sabonis after that is because no one's going to trade for Sabonis. Can you think of any
Yeah.
other team that's going to trade for Sabonis? That massive contract? Making $45 million a season to not play defense, Zach.
Yeah.
What team is going to pay him besides the Kings?
Mm,
And who else is going to give them a first round pick for him?
yeah. I don't think anyone would.
So that's kind of my thought process is Jeff
Yeah.
Peterson knows the market. He knows people in other teams. I know he's calling up other teams and being like, "Oh, do you know Sabonis is on the market? It's crazy, man. Would you ever trade for that guy?" you know?
Yeah,
But
man.
like even
I
just
don't
looking at the
know.
teams, like the Pistons wouldn't trade for him. The Celtics probably not because they just got done with PTSD from Vooch. Knicks wouldn't,
Yeah.
Cavs wouldn't. Yeah, none of the East would because a lot of these teams are very defensive minded. I'm looking at the West, they're even more defensive minded. The only team I can maybe think of is I mean, the Grizzlies would have probably the room for it if they want to trade John Morant to the Kings, but why would you trade for Sabonis and trade John Morant to the Kings for Sabonis when you're trying to restart, you know?
Yeah,
Because
there'd
I
be
know
no
there's been
point.
trade talks about Ja going to Sacramento, but to do that, you literally have to trade Sabonis. But from Memphis side, like Memphis is not going to make that trade. I'm sorry. Like they're not going to trade for Sabonis. It's not happening.
My only argument though would be so it does make sense why um the Hornets are the only realistic option. Like that is the number one spot for him. My question would be if you're the Kings and you actually want value for him, it's like why not just keep him at that point and just eat it for another year if you can't get a pick?
If you can't get a
Like what
pick,
would like Miles Bridge like, like who cares if it's Miles Bridges and Josh Green
mhm.
on your team instead of Sabonis? Like at that
Mhm.
point, why not just eat the contract another year? I guess another two
Um
years.
if I'm
That's the
correct,
only difference, I guess.
let me I'm pulling this up real quick. If I'm
While
correct
you pull
though,
that up, dude, the lightning's going crazy out there.
at your place,
Yes.
really? Oh no.
I'm getting screenshotted, bro.
Oh, oh no. Please don't
Anyway,
shut down PlayStation. Keep going. Go crazy,
I know.
please. I mean, if you're Sacramento though, are you just gonna run it back after this season?
Yeah, I mean, they're just,
Let's be
it's
real.
just like, without a pick, though, it's like, ugh, like what, why? Like, what's the point in a way? I guess the only point would be, so like, what's Miles Bridges and Josh Green? Are they 1 year deals?
Yes. It's to get off the
Okay.
books a year
Okay.
sooner. That's what I was saying is
So that changes it.
yeah,
I
that's what I
didn't
was
know it was
so
one
like
year.
they're expiring deals and the Hornets are pretty much getting Sabonis who has 2 years.
Yeah.
So we're
So
pretty
that
much
that would
adding one
make
more year
sense
to the
then.
books. Yeah. So the Kings are pretty much moving off moving off the books 1 year sooner. And
Okay.
plus I don't think Sabonis wants to play with Sacramento anymore. If I remember correctly, I think he requested a trade during last season.
Oh, who would, dude?
I think he did. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure that happened. So,
Well, then, yeah, that gives all the leverage to the Hornets then, because
mhm.
that makes a lot of sense. I
Yes.
thought they had 2 years as well.
Plus, it makes sense that you would want to stack up for next year's draft. So, like, if the Hornets give them a pick for like next year in 2027, they have two picks. They already have two first rounders next year, so they have their own pick, and then the Spurs first round pick, but it's
Who
protected one
who
through
has that?
16.
Hornets.
Hmm.
The Hornets have the Spurs
No,
or
the
the Kings.
Kings. The Kings.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. So the Kings
Yeah,
have the Spurs first round pick. It's protected 1 through 16. As long as the Spurs are really good, that's going to be the Kings pick. So the Kings are going to have two first round picks next year for sure. They'll have an early first round pick because they're going to be bad again, but they'll have a late first round pick from the Spurs. So it'll probably be around, the 20, late 20s to maybe even 30 range depending if they win the championship next year. Um
yeah.
but dude, if they have those two picks and then if Charlotte gives you a 27 pick, you're going to have three first rounders. So not only are you going to get off the books off of Sabonis's contract sooner, you'll also have three first rounders going into next year's draft.
That would be spicy.
Yeah, I mean even for the Kings, that's what you want. Like if I'm a Kings fan, that's kind of what I would want. Like if I'm trying to rebuild, it all makes sense.
I have a hypothetical Hornets trade for you.
Okay.
and you tell me blasphemy or if you would do it.
Okay.
You send Miles Bridges, Tijon Salon, and number 18 for Zion. Initial thoughts.
Mm, how old is Zion now? 25. He's
He's
gonna be
25. He was born
26.
on the exact same day as me, dude.
Oh
Same
yeah,
year.
that's right. I forgot
That's
about
why
that.
I know that.
Yeah. Hmm.
I'll always know his age.
I forgot about that.
He'll be
Um,
26 before the start of next season.
that would be dope, but it's probably just not gonna happen. Like, if Zion was a better three-point shooter, it probably would happen.
So that was my only thing too, is he can't shoot the three.
You're literally
However, would
just
you want someone who could drive the ball with
that's
all
what
your
Miles
3-point
is.
shooters out there?
That's what Miles
But
is supposed to
Zion,
be. He's a better driver
but
of the basketball, obviously.
yeah.
Yeah.
But my argument would be, how often can you buy low on a potential star like Zion? I think it
Mm,
could be worth it.
who's better though, Sabonis or Zion?
Well, I don't know, because
Well, if you're going by
I
what
think if
ifs,
both,
you think Zion could be better
I think, yeah, for sure.
because at one point we all thought Zion was going to be one of the best
Well,
players in the NBA just based off of potential alone, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he could be better, but I don't think it's going to happen in New Orleans. I think he has
It
to go somewhere.
I would probably be more for it if I knew what the dude looked like in playoffs.
That would be the gamble.
Wouldn't
But
it? I
I
know what
mean,
you're
it's high risk, but it's high
yeah.
reward.
But at least I know like Sabonis, like I know his playoffs wasn't insane last time he played, but besides his three-point shooting, like
He got stepped on the chest.
yeah, he still averaged 17 and 11 in the playoffs. Like it's not like he didn't do nothing, you know. Um Zion, what's going to happen once he goes to the playoffs and he can't shoot a three?
Yeah, but do you need all your guys to shoot threes on the floor?
I mean, you don't. But here's the thing,
Like,
Sabonis plays big, and ideally you want your big to be the one that can't shoot the threes. He's not the big man. He's the power forward.
yeah,
And you're thinking about putting him next to Musa and Kalkbrenner, who also don't shoot themselves.
that's true. But if you could have all these guards who are capable of shooting the three, like the Hornets already have, like the driving kicks would be so nice.
Yeah, I mean
And
it
dude,
would.
the mellow Zion highlights would be insane.
Here's my thing. If we had a center that could shoot, I'm with it. But we just don't have that at hand. So I would probably say no.
Dang, man.
If you would have asked me back in like 2020, I probably would have said yes, but
Well, yeah.
that was his
I would hope you'd
crazy
say.
that was his crazy year where he averaged like 27 points and he was shooting like 60% from the field.
So you think he's completely toast at this point?
Well, yeah, he also lost a lot of weight, and a big part of his game was his weight. Like I know a lot of people were like he's getting hurt because of how overweight he was, but the reason he was so dominant was because of how big he was at his at his stature. So with him being, more thin now, less muscle, it's really hard for me to think he can still be a power forward at 6'6", you know? Like, the only reason he was playing power forward was because of how big he was, and now he's not that big anymore. So,
Yeah, that's true. So you would do the Sabonis before you would do the Zion.
I would, yeah.
Yeah,
Just because Sabonis fits
fair
our
enough.
team better at this moment. Now, if Musa and Kalkbrenner, if one of them starts lighting up three-pointers, I might change my mind, but
Those all-star scores are going to go crazy.